In this lesson, we will recognize that a digit in a given place represents 10 times what it represents in the place to its right. In the younger grades, students represented ones, tens, and hundreds with base 10 blocks or pictures. However, when working with larger numbers, this is difficult to do as they may remember from an earlier lesson about the size and value of the units. So today we will be using place value discs to represent the values. For example, what if I place a 1 disc in the ones column? This represents the number 1. Now, what happens if I multiply that value by 10? This would be the number 1 10 times, or 10 ones. Remember that with base 10 blocks we could make 1 10. We can do the same with the place value discs. 10 ones can be traded for 1 10 disc. You will want to emphasize that 1 10 is 10 times as much as 1. What would happen if we multiplied that 10 by 10? We would then have 10 tens, which is the same as 100. Next, 10 times 100 would be 10 hundreds, or 1,000. If we continue the pattern, 10 thousands is the same as a 10,000 disc, and 10 times that amount would be 10 10,000s, or 100,000. If we move over one more place, 10 times 100,000 is equal to 1 million. Notice with your child that each time you move one place to the right, the value increases 10 times. This concept of 10 times more may seem simple to you, but it is often difficult for students to grasp. One way to help with this concept is to connect it to real-world context other than the place value discs. For example, Mary has 1 apple. John has 10 times as many apples. How many apples does John have? Well, for every one of Mary's, John has 10. So 1 apple times 10 is 10 apples. Let's see if this pattern applies to other numbers. Let's write a 3 in the ones column. This is 3 ones. What would 10 times the number look like? Well, 3 ones times 10 would be 3 tens or 30 ones. So 30 is 10 times larger than 3. Let's place a 6 in the hundreds column. This would be 6 hundreds. Can you picture what 10 times the number looks like? 6 hundreds times 10 is, well wait, this isn't as intuitive for your child as it is for you. Let's think this through in simple steps like your child might. 100 times 10 was 1,000. So 6 hundreds times 10 would be 6 thousands. Give your child practice with a variety of examples by placing a number in a column and brainstorming what 10 times that number would be. Sometimes as students are learning, they think that the place to the left is 10 times greater no matter what the digits are. So you will want to help clarify their understanding by asking if a 3 in the hundreds place is 10 times greater than a 2 in the tens place. Have them model this and explain how they know that is not true. Our goal today was to recognize that a digit in one place represents 10 times what it represents in the place to its right. We did this by using place value discs to model values of numbers in different columns on the place value chart, then multiplying those values by 10 and modeling the product.